Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that, though, if you're a Chelsea fan, you're almost certainly not. But welcome back to Chelsea News. This is the daily series here on Football Therapy where I find out what's being said about Chelsea, giving you my opinion on it, more importantly asking for yours. It is deadline day. Apologies, I thought it was yesterday, like an idiot! But it's today. There's some new stories popping up. We're going to reflect on them here. Of course, Chelsea were touched up, really badly embarrassed by Liverpool at Anfield yesterday, and there was also farcical refereeing and officiating. If you want my pure, unfiltered, analytical response to that, do consider going to watch the previous upload where I reflect on the nightmare of Anfield. But we're here to look forward, and there are new stories to reflect on today for transfers. We may do a little bit of just Chelsea moving forwards at the end if you want to stick around for that. Just want to take a moment to thank you, friends, for visiting my channel today, watching a video. Like I've been saying recently, we're on the road to 180,000 subscribers, which is wild, bro. So thank you to all of you who have subscribed. I urge the rest of you to consider subscribing. If you choose to subscribe, hit the bell, notifications icon, and thank you for liking the video, mate. I really do appreciate that. That's very sweet of you. You're a good guy. Or gal. Alright then, let's get into it. Confirmation that both Conor Gallagher and Trevor Chala are staying at Chelsea in this January transfer window. Now, of course, with Conor Gallagher, that will shock no one. He started the game yesterday, and Pochettino heavily relies on the young English midfielder. And though perhaps we don't know what his long-term situation is and whether he'll stay at Chelsea past next summer, of course, there's a bit of a standoff with the contract, the length, the valuation in terms of his wage. We'll see what happens there. But an interesting one is Trevor Chala. Now, Trevor Chala has been injured for a long time. I do kind of feel bad for him. I'm also a little bit confused of where Chelsea stand because he's been given 2 recent contract extensions of late. Of course, he did well under Tuchel, got a new 5-year deal, and then he signed yet another new deal very shortly after. So he's on a long-term deal. Now, Trevor Chala has a wide range of admirers, much like Conor Gallagher, not valued as much as Conor Gallagher, of course, in terms of player profile. But yeah, bro, like, Bayern Munich wanted him, City A clubs wanted him, some Premier League clubs wanted him, and Chelsea have probably tried to flog him to clubs that he would prefer not to go to. I do feel bad, because there was a time he looked really good. He probably still is really good. He's versatile, he can play right centre-back, he can play right-back, essentially doing what Axel Disasi is doing at Chelsea at the moment. But, like, I don't want to sound heartless, but like many of Chelsea Academy players at the moment, I would not cry for him going because I think Chelsea have got so many young, talented, high-potential players that losing some of them, Cobham graduate or not, you just think, okay, yeah, whatever. We got all these young players. They can go. Let's just get some a couple of elite senior players to go in between. We'll still have academy graduates in the team. Hopefully Conor Gallagher, Levi Colwill, Reece James. There's more. Hold on. There's more. Anyway, there's more. Anyway, let me know what you think about Trevor Chala and Conor Gallagher down in the comment section below, and let's move on. Multiple sources and journalists linking Andre Santos with a move to Strasbourg, of course, to go and join his Brazilian mate, Angelo. Now, this is an interesting move indeed, and this is why, largely, Chelsea brought back Diego Moreira to free up that European loan space. You could tell how it feels a little bit unfair, but Chelsea value Santos a lot more than Moreira in terms of being careful with his development, and Moreira will just have to take it on the chin, go to the Chelsea development squad, and Santos gets the loan second half of the season over at Strasbourg, playing in a European top 5 league. Of course, Strasbourg is owned by the Chelsea ownership Blueco. Now, Liam Twomey of The Athletic has explained this probably isn't a bad loan for him and he should get game time over there. Of course, his mate's over there as well, who's actually having quite a good loan statistically in terms of, play time and goal involvement. A good opportunity for him. We've got midfielders. A lot of people are thinking, well, Ugachukwu going to come back and, what if Lavia is one day fit? What happens then? Kind of makes sense. Give Santos some game time in Europe. I'm totally cool with him going over to Strasbourg and playing there. The deal at time of recording hasn't been confirmed, but that is what's being reported of late. If there's a big story, by the way, that pops off later today on transfer deadline day, or even this evening, I will react to it, so make sure you hit the bell if you choose to subscribe to keep up with the latest news from yours truly. Right, next up we're going to cite what Matt Law's written on the Telegraph transfer column, and there's a little bit about Armando Bria. AC Milan have made an inquiry over Armando Bria, but are yet to follow it up with an offer. There's still plenty of time for an English club to meet Chelsea's demands for Bria, or for the West London club to lower their £5 million loan fee asking price. Fulham and Wolverhampton Wanderers have both refused to meet that valuation so far, and Chelsea believe other clubs could show late interest. Currently, there is no expectation that Chelsea would sign anyone to replace Bria if he leaves on loan. Chelsea have been looking at options, but one of their targets, Aston Villa's John Duran, is injured, and signing a replacement for Bria would have been more likely had he been sold. Chelsea have been open to allowing a teenage striker David Washington to leave on loan, but now it seems more likely he will stay at the club. Midfielder Andre Santos, meanwhile, would join Chelsea's sister club Strasbourg on loan for the rest of the season. Of course, we've just spoken about Santos. Now, this is really interesting with Armando Bria. He has got takers, and this is proper football scouting people in elite clubs that know Armando Bria is good. Chelsea fans will see 2 goals in 19 games, a player devoid of confidence in form, and, another lost pawn in what is a messy chessboard, or, they won't see greatness currently. I've said it to death here on the channel that, Bria is a great profile of striker, strong, direct. He's actually got really good technical ability in terms of dribbling. He's not just a sort of like point-in-charge striker. He's very, very good, Bria. He's a good finisher as well, actually. And actually, as well, deceptively fast, like rapid. All the things you'd want, but again, I compare him to Mudryk. Loads of raw materials for your profile, whether you're a winger like Mudryk or a striker like Bria. You could be great, and you're both young, so you've got time. But can you bring it out of them? Now, of course, loads of clubs wanted Bria. West Ham, Villa, Palace, Wolves, Fulham now, AC Milan. There was another club in Serie A as well. He's got suitors, man, and I think we all knew when he didn't feature off the bench yesterday when Chelsea were goals down that he was being protected. You probably list him in the squad to show, like, yeah, we might not sell him, we can keep him, but you don't put him on the pitch because you don't want to risk any form of injury before a contract is signed. So Chelsea have gone from a £50 million valuation to a £35 million valuation to a, okay, we'll loan him, can we have an option or obligation to buy? There will be no obligation to buy. At this point, they've gone all the way down to just a loan. Now, people will think this is crazy, we've got no strikers, and why would loan him? I actually think it's a good idea still. I'll tell you why, because he is out of form, he does look shook, and it looks like his head's all over the place at the moment. Nico's back from AFCON, and Nkunku looks, in the fleeting moments, really good up front against Liverpool, and if he's good to go, I just start Nkunku as a starting striker. I mean, Raheem Sterling, I'm very upset with him after that performance yesterday. Yeah, I'd start Cole on the right and Nkunku down the middle, and I don't know on the left at the moment. Mudryk, I've sort of have sympathy for, but I don't think he's like the right player to start. Sterling was very frustrating, and if you're going to be playing Nkunku up top, he had 2 golden opportunities to have the ball fed to him from Sterling, and neither of them came at the right time. So already that link-up does not look there. Maybe it can be developed with time. Point being, Nkunku can play up top. Jackson really is our first choice number 9 at the moment, and we've seen Pochettino turn to Cole Palmer to play him as a false 9. I don't personally agree with it, but clearly there are 3 options in his head to play, that players that can play there, that don't include Armando Bria at the moment. So, that being said, go give Bria a loan where he can be the main man, relinquish the pressures of Chelsea, the stories, the noise, the spotlight. And look, us being a circus puts a big circus spotlight on us. Let him go play somewhere and do well. Look, man, Marco Silva's Fulham are a good side. Wolves are doing good as well at the moment. There's a couple of really elite players in there for him to link up with. I kind of like it. Go and just play your football, get the pressure off you, shake it off, man. And then, it is playing to be sold, sadly. It's another shame. He's a Chelsea boy. He wants to play for Chelsea. He wants to prove he's good enough for Chelsea. But the truth is, Pochettino has sort of lost faith in him, it does look like, and there's sort of rumblings that he just doesn't see it anymore, that he did see it, or he thinks it's too inconsistent and we can't. He's probably got too many projects right now, that he's got an arm around Mudryk and he's really going to persist with Mudryk. He can't have like 30 arms around all these underperforming kids who just need this sort of mental and emotional direction. Do you know what I mean? It's just too much. It's too much. It's too much. So I personally think Bria will go. I do think that. I think deadline day is a long time. Chelsea, loads of clubs like to work on the final day and the final hours. So yeah, we'll of course keep a finger on the pulse there, and I will react to it if it does happen. I do think that'll be interesting. Pochettino was reported by some journalists that should Bria go, he would want us to sign a replacement. Now, I think two things. That is, one, if we sold him, and it doesn't look like a sale will happen now, it will be a loan with max an option to buy. I don't think there'll be any obligation to buy him. So therefore, with that, I don't think we'll buy another striker. And two, it's really late in the day, bro. If I could have it my way, I'd sign Callum Wilson for 18 million quid. I'd give him a 18-month deal with an option to extend on the Chelsea side for 1 year. Hopefully he wouldn't want crazy wages. Just give him, I know it sounds silly, but just give him 100k a week. Say, look, you can have 100k a week. I know many of you have expressed concerns of Callum Wilson regarding his injury record. I dig it, but if he's been good lately and doing alright, that's the kind of thing I'd go for personally. And then, you know what I said earlier? Moving Nkunku to the left, Wilson down the middle, Cole Palmer on the right, and all of you just got to, ride the bench. If you're playing bad, ride the bench. Anyway, of course we'll keep tabs on it. Let me know what you think about the striker story. Do comment down below. Huge noises that we're going to try and sign Osimhen in the summer. Again, this guy's got the pick of loads of clubs. Why is he going to go, oh, Chelsea's the one I want? Possibly he's a Chelsea fan. I know Drogba's his idol and stuff. But does that really come into it that much when, it's your career and you got the pick of all these clubs? I'm not so sure. Anyway, comment down below and let's just talk about Chelsea a little bit more in the next segment. So yes, it's been a day, well not even a day, it's been half a day since Chelsea's loss at Anfield. It's very frustrating, and yes, the officiating was poor and that will be a story, and hopefully, VAR, Pokemon, or wherever the whole gang is, they can reflect on that and go, yeah, Chelsea should have had 2 penalties. Let's do better next time. This would have been a much bigger story had Chelsea played really well in that game and it was a lot closer. But ultimately, we can reflect on that game and go, Chelsea got battered. It is what it is. But it's so frustrating because we did look so much. Mudryk always frustrates me because I know how good he can be. But Carney Chukwuemeka and Christopher Nkunku did make a huge difference. Of course, linking up for Chelsea's only goal away at Anfield. Carney, before he got injured, that goal at West Ham, he looked like he was a starting player. Of course, in the beginning of the season, when Christopher Nkunku was out, we knew he was out from pre-season. It looked like Carney was going to play the Nkunku role. He's very, very attacking. He's quietly gone about his business. Chelsea fans, the football media, football fans generally don't talk about him because he was a sort of Villa youth player, played a few games for Villa, and he had a really peculiar transfer to Chelsea that no one really understands, but then sort of showed that he's the guy, he can do bits, he looks good, and he can actually be effective in this Chelsea team. And I'm at the point now that if you do anything going forward well, you're in the team. There's a relative level of disharmony. I think Enzo's reportedly upset because he's a winner and, he's been at Chelsea for over a month now. He ain't been winning, I tell you that much. And something needs to be settled. Chelsea fans are understandably upset with Mauricio Pochettino. My position remains the same. I've never seen him to be the guy to win Chelsea the league, but I've sort of maybe seen him as the guy to pick up whatever this is from the owners, sort of say, yeah, I'm willing to take all this on the chin and try and develop a few young players and play some high-octane attacking football and get the players really fit, because that's what he does. In that sense, kind of fit the bill for the moment, and we've seen it in small moments. But understandably, like many, I'm very unhappy with the manager at the moment. I don't think he should go. I don't think he should be sacked. I think we solved nothing from that. And we just, I guess, need to bring in a couple more personnel. And we just need to find some cohesion again. We come up against a really good Liverpool side that are rallying behind an icon who's leaving. They're much more senior. They're at home. They're just much more drilled. It's just so much better structure. And we're not structured well at all at the moment. top to bottom, and it may fall into place in time, but it's all just a mess at the moment. I do remain optimistic because I just don't think Chelsea can be bad forever. I mean, many of you will be thinking, oh, yeah, but I heard someone today speak about Chelsea on a podcast saying they're just going to become this middling, moneyed, middle table Premier League team. I just don't see that happening personally. I think Chelsea can just be really good again, and players will still want to come at still Chelsea. It's like Man United. Man United sort of floating into obscurity, but at any moment they can catch fire and become good again because, you know, they're inevitably this sort of big force now. Chelsea still generate a lot of revenue. They'll generate more revenue. They're still in like the best spot in England as far as I'm concerned in terms of like, you know, real estate and also place to live in England. All that stuff together. And Chelsea, of course, great European pedigree. It won't just float off into mediocrity. And the owners, despite what everyone's very upset with the owners, they still know what Chelsea's supposed to be, and that's winning. They've said it themselves, they've invested a load of money, they want to win. You don't spend billions of pounds to lose. Expensive lessons being learned, hopefully. And I say hopefully, the learning part. Anyway, I just want to, it's so topical at the moment where Chelsea are, it's just worth speaking about again, really. But I get it, people are annoyed, and so am I. Anyway, let me know what you think, keep it locked, and I'll be back very soon, so I hope to see you guys here. Peace.